Hey guys, welcome back to the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. This is TJ, your gamer girl, signing on. So, last episode, we finished up the second trial and began our final day of investigation. Now, there was something I forgot to do before coming here, and that was to talk to Will. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed him in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, only one day left. Let's make it count. Yes, though there's not really anything I can do to help. I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and... what? Nothing, forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manila? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director. But something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Salmonella. I heard he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh, yeah, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago? Okay, let's try presenting. Excuse me. Thank you for showing me that, whatever it is. I wish I could think of some way for me to help you. Sorry. Aw, poor guy. Alright, well. Let's head back to the studio. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent! Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But... this week is the last episode of the Steel Samurai. What? No! I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume too! What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh. I guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt. You know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. The film set? Was that trailer part of the film set, then? An accident 5 years ago. Yeah, in Studio 2. That trailer there was part of the film set. Could you tell us what happened? Sorry. I don't think I can. They really don't want us to talk about it. Oh, come on. What do you mean The Last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No. No! Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay. I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something! Yeah. I think evidence, rather than words, is called for here. Here, take a look at this. I know just what to show her. And this is? A fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be cancelled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay, but what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Hammer. And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. She was here at the studios back then, you know? Thanks, we'll try asking her. If she'll talk. Thank you, Penny. You have been a big help. What? You're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darnest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer! It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Who told? Who'd you hear that from? Huh? Nichols! Nichols? Nichols. Nick. Penny Nichols. That assistant we talked to. Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers! Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that, and the recently departed no less. I suppose you think this is fun? No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume? You expected me to believe that rubbish? Or did you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume? I have proof. I'm sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume. Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? It's a bottle of sleeping pills with Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What does that prove? I'm sure old Hammer had some sleepless nights. Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes, so? This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer, rest your soul. Miss Oldbag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Miss Oldbag. You're right. 5 years ago, there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo? Well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the mafia. Whoa, what? She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand. Poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Miss Oldbag. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here, take this. A photograph? Oh, shit! Is this the photo of the accident that happened? Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on top of those stairs there. He pushed the other actor and the man fell onto the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. Sheesh. Thanks, Miss Oldbag. Poor old girl's just tired. Let's see if Vasquez can deny this. She's not even looking. Wait, what? Where did you get that? Well, Oldbag. Old. She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick. Right, anyway. Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. Huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind. Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. I got a bad feeling about this. Nick, she went inside the... I have a really bad feeling about this. She's got ties to the mafia, Oldbag said. This could end so badly. You came. Well then, what was that you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kids shows for petty change. So I'm a blackmailer now? Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident. But you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh? I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause! You pressured him! And to think it was just an accident! Excuse me! What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think. What would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way! You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I meant. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo onto the studio. She wrenched it out of his hand, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He would have made copies. But he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? This is valuable evidence! Boys! Oh, shit. Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow? How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should Dee Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, erase away. No! I knew this was gonna end badly. Hold it right there! Gumshoe! I heard everything, pal. Dee Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me, now! Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then. In court. I'll be looking forward to it. She had him killed! Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe! Thank you, thank you, thank you! I was really scared! Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just... I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Holy shit. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. Who's at the bottom? Dee Vasquez. She had to have had him killed, or killed him herself. Now we just gotta prove it in court. Here we go. Oh boy. Hi, Miles. Welcome back. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Willpowers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. Probably because his witness is Vasquez. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss Dee Vasquez to the stand. Miss Dee Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Will the witness state her name and occupation? Dee Vasquez. I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please, give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. The day of the murder. Here we go. I entered the trailer a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp and ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. He was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Oh, I was fatigued. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks from the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later, when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I am going to press you until you croak. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you. The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk with that monkey's head toppling over. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it! Okay. Entered the trailer a little before noon. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. Meeting began at noon sharp, ended at 4. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that! The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. Oof. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards. We went to Studio 1. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth! I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What is that? She just explained. It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, right. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. You're doing this. You just did the same thing. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person's enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find anything? I kind of wish she'd said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere. Okay. We have to prove that she didn't eat the steak. How? How do we prove she didn't eat the steak? I prove that she didn't... Sleeping pills!
Objection!
Of course! Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manila ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates! The plates were bare! Miss Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone too. You ate a boneless steak, or you didn't eat the steak. I'm gonna go with you ate a boneless steak. Elementary! You were eating a boneless steak! Mr. Wright, say you're right. What would that prove? Right, Your Honor. Nick, remember her testimony? She said she had a T-bone steak. She said bone! Correct. I was testing you. Yeah, sure, Nick. Sorry, can I try that one more time? Think I know how. Well, it'd be crazy if she ate the bone, too. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere. Like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting the Steel Samurai! She was meeting with the Steel Samurai! Order! Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Excuse me. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the Steel Samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? You couldn't, could you? You had one of your boys do it. Let me save here, just to be safe. I think you would have had a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? Yes, exactly! Phoenix, what do you... The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. What? What? The duct tape?
Take that!
I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. Of course! It was duct taped! It wouldn't have been a good weapon! But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was a security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who's wearing a thick costume with this? Through the chest! Oh, order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Ugh. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? I thought that was Phoenix. If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell, what was? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon... I can tell you! She used the fence! Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is all this about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago happened again. Has happened again. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss Dee Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had done himself 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my scriptwriting staff. You deny what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet his body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the Yes! With the truck! How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. With the truck. Boom! Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Sal Manila that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manila was a conspirator? Of course he wasn't. Of course he wasn't. So without Mr. Manila noticing anything, she put the body in the van, then managed to put the body in the costume. And you're seriously suggesting that's possible? Okay. So he was a conspirator. Of course, because he was at her every beck and call. Of course Salmonella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Oy vey. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They threw it into the incinerator. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? So what happens next? Don't me? Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Oh, wait, so you mean Dee Vasquez? So it was you? You killed Jack Hammer! Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right? But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What? Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do we do now? You did it, Vasquez. Miss Vasquez, you did it! That wasn't a question. Did you do it? No. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I'm not sure that question helped this court get any closer. No, it didn't. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? No one to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. Damn! It's come so far only to fail. Okay, now I'm trying all my options. Let me try this one again. Yes, Mr. Wright? I was hoping I'd come up with a question by pounding on my desk. I didn't. You have my sympathies. Damn! It's come so far only to fail. So no matter what, As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Ms. Vasquez.
Objection!
Edgeworth? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting. Oh my god, you both are! I didn't. I see. Very well.
Objection!
Your Honor! I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed, verily, I say. Ergo, Edgeworth, you got nothing, do ya? I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick! Why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that? Edgeworth. Alright, well, let's see what we can do here. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're really close. Really close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Alright, we're pressing this bitch till she pops.
Hold it!
What time was that? We were to meet at 5 o'clock for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manila arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Press harder. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put the hammer in that costume, with Salmonella's help. Oh, what did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy! The witness will continue her testimony.
Hold it!
Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm. You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder! Ugh. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Ms. Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Ms. Vasquez. You may continue. I immediately called the police and Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent. Completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Silence. Hey, Nick! Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to light things up. Security lady was quite agitated. Old bag. The security lady. Why does the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going toward the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all of this after the fact. That photograph? Meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. Ugh, I don't think there's anything in there I can use. You asked to be left out. Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned. And I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that, since we were in a meeting. There was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot writing on it, with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure our professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my script and director's notes. The script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh, yeah, I guess. Very well. Ms. Vasquez, please continue. Your Honor! I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think! Miss Vasquez says she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. Hey, team it up! Order, order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me! So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew the Hammer was injured and couldn't do anything, so I left him behind. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg this on her. Everything we've done until now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. I was with Sal and Oldbag. Assistant. Immediately. Security. Other proceedings. Direction. New Hammer was injured. How did she know he was injured? Okay. I could be dumb about this. There has to be something on her. Wait a minute. Hold it, hold it, hold it! How would she know? Oof! Please tell me this. Okay. No. That didn't do anything. I have evidence! I have evidence! On this statement alone! Don't I? No, that's not gonna do it either. I know. I got something on her. I have something on her. I know I do. have something on her. I know I do. No, okay. There has to be something. New Hammer was injured. Ah, I have something on her. Of course! The security photo! How could I have forgotten about that? You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manila was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez, you saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but was it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. And when was he doing this? Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order! Order! I will have order! Witness! Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there was a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course I can prove it. Okay, I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present to the court the evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive to this murder. Boom. This is my proof. This is the photo from before? This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. I need to save it just in case something screws up. With Dee Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, Dee Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We're talking about motives here, yet you've only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Dee Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I'd never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. Wait. Did she do it in self-defense? Was he She had no motive. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? 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 Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then, Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Oof, she's pissed. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I'm guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere! We're too late! Miss Vasquez! What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. Wait! Oh God, was that her husband he accidentally killed? No, no, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel! Manuel! Don't touch him, Mr. Vasquez. No! Please, please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. Whew, boy! I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know that now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder. It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? I honestly don't know. I guess we'll never know. Yes, of course. Whew. I'm not sure I wanted to go down that road. Congratulations, WP! Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Huh? Is something wrong? No, of course not. Ah! Nick! Edgeworth! Hi, Miles. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gone away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. I can't really pick and choose who the prosecutor is. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if? They're rivals! Rivals! Right, Nick? For now, we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? We'll never know. And so the curtain closed on another trial. Or maybe we will know, just later. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident for 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Pink Princess became a thing. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today. You're going to watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Whew! That was the end of the episode. We did it! Oh boy. Turnabout goodbyes, huh? Looks like this is something personal to Edgeworth, judging by the picture. Alright, well, I'm gonna end the episode here. Until in the next episode, we will start Chapter 4. Until then, this is Gamer Girl, signing off.